how to excel in life. How do we make quantum leaps in business, in life, in love? Let's talk about it.
Everybody gives you advice, yeah, on how to live your life, how to live your life. Don't you know that life is full of surprises? You better realize, nobody knows what's in your soul and how your heart works. Nobody cares. It's time for you to live your life, yeah.
All right, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Coach Brown checking in for episode number 8 of the Coach Brown Show. My name is Coach Brown. I am a life, love, and I got caught up in my own thing. I'm a life, love, and spiritual coach. The mission of this channel is to reset the mind, to rebuild the life. I've spent many years working with people one-on-one, also in group settings, family settings, relationships, even corporate settings, to help people, reset some of the mindsets that keep people constrained and keep people small and keep people in these breakdowns, right? So if it's your first time coming to the channel, I want to say welcome to the channel. If you stick around, I know that you will get something out of tonight's episode for sure. I promise you that. If you're returning to the channel, thank you for coming back. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button or the subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, right? And the bell notification, so that way you get notified every time that I go live, which is Mondays at 8:30. We're also going to be going live other days throughout the week. I have a couple different show ideas lined up, and then also some shorts that's going to be launching throughout the week on YouTube. So we're going to get real active on the channel to grow this community, right? The faster we grow the community, the larger we grow the community, the bigger the conversation becomes, and the more impact we'll have, right? The more people we get touches on, the more of an impact we're going to have, and the more change and transformation that we're going to see based off of the work that we're doing, right? And this is all about transforming people's lives, right? Putting people in a place of power to start to create life on their terms, and so they can live a life that they love, and a life that they enjoy, and a life that they can be proud of without regret. So with that being said, tonight I was inspired to share with you guys keys to excelling in life. And the reason why I wanted to share this is because I was actually teaching on this particular topic this morning, right? So I was teaching on the topic this morning. It did not cross my mind while I was teaching on it. And this was in a corporate setting, right? I'm teaching on these principles. It did not cross my mind to bring it to the stream tonight. But as I was sitting here thinking about, okay, what am I going to stream about on the live stream? It was overwhelming to talk about the same thing that I talked about this morning in the corporate setting with you guys, because it's the same principles, and it really will help you to make quantum leaps, right? To go from point A to point, ST or Q, right? And some of you guys will be XY. But it's going to allow us to really see some extraordinary change inside of our lives. But for us to do that, there are particular things that we've been taught, and there are particular mindsets that we hold that keep us constrained, that don't allow us to excel as fast as we potentially could excel in life, because we've been taught a particular way, and the way that we've been taught keeps us constrained to what we've already achieved. And, going from what you've achieved this far to what you really want to achieve, there's a lot of resistance there, and the resistance comes from the mindsets that you hold. So tonight we're going to challenge a few of them, and we're going to pull them apart a little bit. And through pulling them apart, we're going to reset your mind so that you can have a new perspective and you can have a new outlook. And some of the things I talk about, they're going to be hard to digest at first, because there's been a lot of learning around these particular mindsets that a lot of people hold. And when you challenge those mindsets, it's not easily digestible for some people. But if you can get it, you're going to experience miraculous change in your life, right? And it's going to be expedient too. It's going to be fast. And I don't want to say effortless, but it's going to require less effort than you're currently putting in to run in the circles that you're running right now, right? So let's go ahead and dive into what are some of these principles, right? And what are some of these mindsets that people hold that keep them constrained and don't allow them to grow into the next levels, don't allow them to see promotion, in their relationships, to see promotion in their relationship with themselves, to see promotion on their jobs, to see promotion in their love life, right? What are some of these mindsets? So we're going to go ahead and jump into the first one. Excuse me. I've been talking all day long, so my throat's a little dry. But this one, I'm going to start with probably one of the, this is the hardest one for people to grasp and understand, right? And that is always do more than what you get paid for. I'm gonna say it again, and then we're gonna pull it apart a little bit, right? Always do more than what you get paid for to make an investment in your future, right? And this is a principle that I came across quite a few years ago, right? I was listening to one of my mentors. I say my mentors because these are the people that have taught me and shaped me into the person I am today. Jim Rohn. And I was listening to one of the seminars that he was giving, and that he said those exact words verbatim: always do more than you get paid for to make an investment in your future. And when I first heard the statement, just like most people, the mindset was, if I don't get paid for it, like, you hear people say it all the time, like, that ain't my job. Like, I don't get paid to do that, so I'm not going to do that, right? And that's a very small mind frame. And the reason being is that it's not what you get paid to do that's going to allow you to excel. It's the things that you don't get paid to do, right? It's the extras that's going to allow you to excel. Because guess what? Everybody, and I'm going to keep this in business terms, and then I'm going to flip it into regular life terms, right? To show you how these things correlate. In the business world, when you go to work, you're surrounded by people who are also getting paid to do exactly what it is that you do, right? So how do you break away from the pack? You break away from the pack by beginning to do things that you don't get paid for, beginning to do things that would be considered extra, right? Would be considered like icing on the cake, right? Maybe you don't get paid to vacuum the office. Maybe that's not in your job description, right? But you grab that vacuum and you vacuum, every Wednesday or something. You grab the vacuum and, I'm going to vacuum up the office. I'm going to make it look nice, right? I'm going to wipe down this stuff over here. Hey, you guys need help with anything before I go? Is there something I can help you with, right? Those little extras is going to make you stand out from the pack. So we can't have the mind frame, or we can't have the tunnel vision of, this is what I get paid for, so this is what I do. You have to start to look outside of what you get paid for, because, and it's going to take us into the second principle, but what you get paid for is a flat transaction, right? You do this, I cut you a check, and I give you a check for that thing that you did. And that will continue. That's a hamster wheel, right? You do particular action, I give you particular pay, and we stay in that loop until one of us breaks the loop. And guess what? Your employer is not going to break the loop. You're not going to be the one to break the loop. You got to break the loop. I've experienced plenty of promotions in my life. Almost every job I've ever worked in, I climbed, right? And I climbed by being or having the understanding that when I'm in this space, the way that I stand out from everyone else and the way that I allow myself to be considered before everyone else when opportunity does present itself, is that I have to stand out from the pack, right? I just can't be locked into flat transactions, because everything's a transaction, right? But a tit for tat transaction, like, okay, you do this, this, and that, and I give you this, right? That's a flat transaction. But if I want to take this transaction to a new level, then I got to introduce some new things into it, right? When you consider me, you have to consider that, yes, I do X, Y, Z, and you pay me for that. But in addition to that, I'm also doing this, and that. And when it comes time for consideration, you have to consider, not only am I executing at what you're paying me to do, but I'm also executing outside of that. And who could you ever consider before me? Because I'm the guy who's putting the icing on the cake. I'm the guy that's doing the extras. I'm the guy that's showing you I'm not scared to take on more responsibility, right? I'm not a selfish guy. I'm a team player. I'm looking at it like, how can I help the team? How can I be of service? Right? And service is one of the other keys, right? And we're going to go into that, but they all tie together, so they're going to pop into each other. But we have to start to look at it and understand that it's not enough just to do what you get paid to do. You got to do a little bit more if you're looking to excel in any position. You have to do a little bit extra. You got to ask yourself, okay, what do I do outside of my position to highlight me when it comes time for consideration for promotion? And the same is true. I told you I was going to correlate it to regular life situations, right? So we're going to do that. The same is true inside of your friendships. The same is true inside of your relationships. The same is true inside of your family life, right? Some people do just enough to keep a friend, right? Those are the people that you're like, oh yeah, that's my friend. But then someone's like, oh, how come you like, what is it? How you guys become friends? And like, they start digging in a little bit, and you're kind of like, well, I don't know. They're just my friend. And you know what I mean? You got to kind of really think about it. It's because that person does just enough to be considered a friend, but they don't go above and beyond for you, right? They're not doing the extras inside a relationship or inside a friendship. And the same is true inside relationships. Some people are together just because they're together. Their relationship's not thriving. It's not growing. They're not excelling in their relationship. And the reason why they're not excelling in their relationship is because they're doing flat transactions. It's like, okay, you're my girlfriend. So because you're my girlfriend, I'm required to do this, and that. So I'm going to do this, and that to fulfill my contractual agreement. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, you got to do the extras. You got to do the things that you necessarily don't have to do. And those are the things that's going to grow the relationship. Those are the things that's going to grow the friendship. Those are the things that's going to excel those relationships, friendships, family situations. Those are the things that's going to help it grow into new levels, into new heights, to continue to get better and better and better and better, to continue to feel alive, to continue to feel like you're thriving in those situations. It's going to take you to do more than the required. You got to do a little bit extra. And that takes us right into the next thing. The next thing is, you don't judge someone, right? It says, this is how the saying goes, right? Judge somebody not by what they have to do, but you judge someone based on what they don't have to do. That's the best way to judge somebody, not on what they have to do, right? People want kudos, people want pats on the back because they did what they have to do. You doing what you have to do is you just doing what you're supposed to do, right? That's just what you are supposed to do. But when you go beyond what you're supposed to do, and you go into that realm of doing extra, when you go into that realm of extending yourself, that's where the magic's at, right? That's when you show what you're truly made of. That's when you show what your true character is. That's when people start to see what your actual value is. It's when you extend beyond, what you're supposed to do, right? Everybody should automatically do what they're supposed to do. There's no magic in that. That's just what you're supposed to do. But the magic is in when you extend beyond what you're supposed to do and you show who you actually are and what you do that you don't have to do. When you see someone extending themselves for you and you know, wow, this person doesn't even really have to do that, but they are doing that. That shows you exactly who that person is. It shows you what's in that person's heart. It shows you the value of that person. So the same is true for yourself. You got to start to look at, how are you showing up in life, right? Are you doing what's required and that's it? Are you saying, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do, I did that and I'm done? Or are you saying, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to take care of what I'm supposed to do, but in addition to what I'm supposed to do, I'm also going to do this, and that, because it speaks to who I am. Or I'm also going to do this, and that, because I know it's going to help this person and that person, or it's going to help this group of people, move forward faster. Are you looking outside of yourself to see how you're impacting the people around you? Or are you living in a selfish bubble of, I did what I was supposed to do, therefore I don't have to do anything else? That's not a formula for excelling in life. A formula for excelling in life is extending yourself. A formula for excelling in life is doing more than you're supposed to do. Showing people what your value is by extending yourself, going above and beyond. That's where the magic's at. That's where you'll find yourself go from 0 to 10. Rather than going, a lot of people go 0 to 1 to 2 and they go back to 0. 0 to 1 to 2, they go back to 0, because they show a little bit of potential, they show a little bit of promise, but what happens is they fulfill on their requirements, what's required of them, and then they check out. There's nothing beyond that point. And in their mind, they're not even supposed to travel beyond that point, because a lot of us have been taught, hey, just do what you're supposed to do, and that's it. You don't got to worry about nothing else. No, because that is not the finish line. If anything, when you find yourself completing on what you're supposed to do, more than anything, that's the real start line to seeing change in your life. Because doing what you're supposed to do is you just fulfilling on what your current setup is in life. And that's going to allow you to exist in that setup. But if you want something different, if you want something outside of that, then you have to get to the edge of your current existence and not stop and turn around and say, okay, I made it to the edge. No, you got to run beyond the edge. You got to go into the uncharted territories. You got to start to look in places you never looked. You got to start to interact with people you never interacted with. You got to start to take action that you normally wouldn't take, right? You got to see what happens after where I usually stop. This is where I usually stop. But let me keep going to see what is beyond this point, right? What's beyond the horizon. That's how we start to see ourselves excel extremely quickly in life. So just to recap, we're going to recap and I'm going to go into the last principle here. But just to recap is, number one, always do more than what you get paid for to make an investment in your future. And that's, even if we're talking business, that's in the business world. If you're talking in your regular everyday life, day-to-day life, like in your friendships and your relationships and your family life, doing more than what you get paid for, right? Because everything is transactional. So in a friendship, you do certain things, right? And you're paid back by your friend doing certain things. That's a transaction, right? It's a tit for tat transaction, but it can't be flat. It can't be like, okay, with this person, I know that if I do this, and this, they're going to do this, and this. And that's just where it stops. No, you got to do this, and this, and this, and this. So that way you can start to climb, right? You start to climb in that relationship or in that friendship or in that family situation. The second thing is, it's not about doing what you're supposed to do. Doing what you're supposed to do should be a given, right? And yeah, if you do what you're supposed to do, kudos to you. You can't clap for yourself, but that's not the finish line. That's really the starting line, right? I did what I'm supposed to do. Now let me do what I need to do to excel in life, right? Let me do the things that I know if I start engaging in these particular things, it could take me to the next level, right? I know if I start to do these particular things, I'm going to impact people around me. Right, I'm gonna have a crazy impact on my community. I'm gonna have a crazy impact on my city, and these are the things that's gonna excel you. I'm gonna have a crazy impact on everyone who works in my department. These are the things that's gonna excel you. But you have to start to reframe your thinking around what it is that's required of you to excel in life, and you doing what you have to do is not gonna excel you in life. It's you doing what you have to do and then also doing the things that you necessarily don't have to do. Those are the things that's going to make you stick out. Those are the things that's going to make people say, hey, wait a minute, let me evaluate this person. Let me evaluate what their true value is, because everyone else is doing this, but that person over there, they're doing a little bit more. They're doing a little bit extra, right? Let me keep an eye on them. Let me see what they're really made of, right? Because they're impacting things, and that's gonna excel you extremely fast. Let's see. Oh, Wob in the building. He said we just talked about this. Yeah, we did just talk about this. Exactly, right? Me and Wob just had a conversation about this the other day, right? And it's really about doing the extras, man, right? Letting people know or making it clear and have people consider, wait a minute, this person is different. Wait a minute, this person is valuable. This person is impacting what's going on around here, right? That's gonna force acceleration inside of your life. So again, let's recap, and then we're gonna go to the last principle. So principle number 1 was always do more than what you get paid for to make an investment in your future. That just means don't have flat transactions, right? Go above and beyond. Do the extras. Number 2 was it's not about doing what you have to do, right? It's about the things you do that you necessarily don't have to do. That speaks to who you are, who you truly are, right? You doing what you have to do is just speaks to the fact that you're able to execute on what's required of you, right? That's different than you doing things because it's true to who you are. It's true to your nature, right? It speaks to the value you possess. That's a whole different thing, right? So if you guys haven't already, before we go to the last thing, if you're watching on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that the like and subscribe button, bell notification, so that way every time we go live, you could be notified. The larger the community grows, the larger the conversation grows, right? The more people we get joining in and commenting on the videos, I mean, the more this conversation is going to expand and the more impact we're going to have. And it will be highly appreciated. If you're watching on Facebook, you got something from this, just go ahead and hit that share button. It only takes a second, right? But it's going to help to crack that algorithm and make us more visible, right? Because that's what we really need. We need visibility, right? So we want to get more visible. So the last thing to excelling, right? Or I want to say rapidly excelling in life, right? The last thing that I'll share tonight, and there's more, but I don't want to go, into too many, but I feel like this one is probably very important. So I want to share this one. It's very important that you are aware that, or that you consider, or that you make a conscious effort. I'll say that, and I'll tell you why. You make a conscious effort to lead with your value. Most people, actually all people, I want to tell you right now, all people are leading with what they perceive to be their value. Now, I say that very strategically, what they perceive to be their value, because most people don't know truly, number one, how valuable they are, and number two, what their actual value is. Therefore, they find their value in these falsehoods and they lead with them, right? So, for instance, someone may not feel valuable, so they find all of their value in their possessions. Therefore, they lead with their possessions, right? Every time you see them, they're talking about, oh, I got the new this, I got the new that. You know what I mean? Oh, check out the car, check out this, check out that. That's what they're leading with, right? When you see their things before you see them. And the reason why is because for them, that's what gives them value, right? You'll also see people, you'll also see people online who also lead with their value, right? So you'll see some people, unfortunately, we live in a world where sex sells. People are leading with their sex appeal because they feel like that's their value. And in actuality, they are very valuable people. It's just that they've been convinced through conditioning of the world that this is the value that they possess, so they lead with it. Everything they put out is all about sex appeal, sex appeal, sex appeal. And there's no actual substance to what they're leading with. And the reason being is that that's their perceived value. So I say that to say this. If you can understand that whatever you're coming forward with, whatever supersedes you, is telling of what you believe, either consciously or subconsciously, that your value is, or what you possess of value, then you have to go back and start to unpack that and understand that if you can tap into what your true value is and you start to lead with that, you give people an opportunity to activate you properly in life. And when I say activate you properly in life, that means you give people an opportunity to position you correctly. Some of you guys are extremely, extremely phenomenal people, but you haven't tapped into your own value and you haven't led with your value. Therefore, people have a different perceived value of you, and they're positioning you based on this perceived value, which actually isn't your most valuable possessions that you possess. If you go in and figure out who you are and what you possess and what value you have and what you bring to the planet, what you bring to the marketplace, what you bring to the people that interact with you, then the people that do interact with you again can position you properly. For instance, I'm a life coach and I work with people in, life, love, and spiritual coaching. With that being said, people who know me know what I do and they know my value and they know how to activate me. So if someone has someone who is not doing well in life, needs some guidance, is struggling with a mindset problem, they call me, they activate me because they understand that I could come in and be impactful in that situation. And I could do what I'm naturally designed to do and help that person in that situation. Right? Or if there's a speaking engagement, someone will say, oh, there's an opportunity to speak. Do you want to come talk about XYZ? Because people know, because I lead with that value. I do streams like this, right? I teach classes, seminars. I talk to people in the corporate world, people, my friends and people who know me, family. When I get into conversations with them, I'm able to go places and I'm able to help them switch mindsets and things like that. So therefore, that valuable aspect of me is what I lead with, and people in my life now can activate me based on that. Right? Now, what if I led with a different value? What if I led with a different value? What if I led with I don't know, put it this way. Back in the day, I used to DJ, right? And I loved music. I would DJ parties, DJ weddings, DJ all these things. And I led with that. I was DJ all the time, DJ. So every time someone in my life wanted to activate me, it was in that role. Hey, so-and-so's having a party. You want to DJ? Oh, so-and-so's doing this. Can you DJ? Hey, my kid's having a birthday party. Could you DJ? They was activating me in that manner because that's the value that I led with. And that was the perceived value they had of me. So anytime or any opportunity they had to excel me in life, it was under that pretense of let me excel him into this position of DJing because I know that he DJs. I know that's what he does. That's his value. So I want you to consider that if you lead with your true value, if you tap into what you actually possess, right? And where you want to excel in life, and you lead with that particular thing, you give the people in your life and the people that are going to come into your life on this journey an opportunity to activate you and an opportunity to excel you towards the height of whatever that particular area of life is, right? For instance, Wob is a physical fitness guy. The guy's in shape. The guy got a six-pack. The guy works out all the time. And everybody knows that, right? So when people talk to me about fitness, they're like, oh, I'm looking to get a workout 3 times a week and I need some personal training and this and that. I already know. Hey, talk to my friend Wob. Talk to Wob. Hit Wob up. I'll tag Wob in it because I understand that's Wob has value in that particular area. So I'm going to connect that dot to help him excel in that area by connecting him with the people who are looking to work with people that do what he does. But what if I didn't know that what if I didn't know that he had value? What if he didn't know? What if he didn't know that he was someone who had value in the physical fitness space and he was leading with something else? Then I'd be activating him in that area. So I want you to understand that leading with your value that exists in the area of life that you want to excel in. Let people know this is the area I want to excel in. This is the area I want to go to the mountaintop in, right? And this is the value I have in this area. And allow people in your life to activate you. Allow people in your life to put you in position to excel. But they can't do that if they don't know where you want to go. And if they don't know the value that you have to share. You have to say, hey, this is what I do. And this is where I want to go by doing this thing. Here's where I want to go. And people will help you get there. But you have to let them know what you possess. You got to let them know your actual value. And you got to show them that you have actual value, right? You have to make it clear. Oh, this is the person. And when they know this is the person, people will lift you up, push you up, connect you with anyone they possibly can to help you excel. And you will go from 0 to 100 very quick. Very, very quick. All right. So with that being said, guys, I need a glass of water. Whoa, I've been talking a lot today. Yeah, so with that being said, I just want to say, excelling in life is something everybody wants, right? And it's something that actually it's something that everybody actually gets. The problem is that people find acceleration in the wrong areas of life. Right? People find acceleration in the wrong things because they're not clear on what they want out of life. They're locked into doing the bare minimum of what's required of them. They're not doing any of the extras. They're not going above and beyond. They're not clear, about what their value is, and they're not sharing what their value is with the people around them. They may be sharing value or certain values, but it's not their true value. It might be values that send them in the wrong direction. People might know you and say, oh, you're a party animal, right? Every time I'm with them, it's so fun. They could drink more than anybody in the world. Let's go, right? And that's the value they see when they look at you. And you're excelling in that because every time you get together, you party harder and you party harder and you party harder. And it's like, yeah, we're partying, but that's not taking you anywhere. But you are excelling. So that's why I say, people, you're going to excel in life for sure, but you want to accelerate towards where you actually want to go, right? You don't want to accelerate in the wrong direction. You want to accelerate towards the actual finish line that you want to reach. Don't accelerate to your demise. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm going to stop here because if not, I'll just keep talking. I love talking to you guys, and I love doing the show. This is the Coach Brown Show, episode number 8, Keys to Excelling in Life. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button, love button, share it up. Let's crack the algorithm. Let's get the message out to as many people as possible so we can reset the mind to rebuild the life. My name is Coach Brown. I'm here every Monday, 8:30, right? And yeah, that's about it. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. It's time to excel. Let's go ahead and make it happen. Peace.